1 skelly, 2 skelly, 3 skelly. Okay, this is getting out of hand. The Necromancer is literally the same exact fight each time, just with more HP and slightly tougher skeletons. The only time this fight's really going to get out of hand if the Bone Captain is summoned on a regular basis on the 3rd level, and if the Necromancer gets chronic crits. The 51 HP and protection bonus of 33% is a little much to try to be burning through all the time with Crusaders on those Bone Captains. We'll talk about ad removal later in the guide. Before we end the strategy, let's go over the main abilities of the Necromancer. The good note is he only gets 1 action per turn. The bad news is it's a 100% chance to summon a skeleton, and it always pushes him back 1 row. First ability, the Flesh is Willing. It's a decent amount of damage, and as stated before, every ability summons a skeleton and pushes him back 1 row. This ability hits the front 2 positions. The Crawling Dead is slightly less powerful than the Flesh is Willing, but this hits the back 2 rows. Third ability, 6 Feet Under, is the stress damage ability of the Necromancer, and at level 3, I would rather he do this over the other 2. I may have been unlucky, but he was getting a lot of critical strikes on the other 2, and it started adding up. Normally the Necromancer fight is really straightforward, but a few RNG moments can make it a disaster, and you end up asking yourself, how the heck did I get here? Pitfalls to avoid in the 3rd level is not bringing at least 1 individual who can hit rows 3 and 4, or pull an individual forward, also known as the Necromancer. As usual, a Houndmaster or Highwayman works exceptionally well for this job. For pulling forward, we can bring along an Occultist or a Bounty Hunter, and we'll talk about that later. If the Necromancer goes too many turns without taking damage, his low damage can begin to stack up along with all the ads he's going to have. This fight is not a straight ad clear in the 3rd level, because it may take too long to get through all that protection bonus of the skeletons, even with Crusaders. The overall resistances of the Necromancer are rather low, and the most notable ones are the move and stun resistance. The stun resistant is at 115%, which is not high, and the move resistant is only 65%. This means you can reliably pull him forward with a Bounty Hunter or an Occultist, which means you can have the 2 heavy hitters and just have them go last to make sure that the Necromancer is always in at least the first 2 rows. This can allow you to ignore the other skeletons and allow you to burst through the Necromancer before they do too much damage. Once again, I believe good characters for this are the Bounty Hunter and the Occultist. The Bounty Hunter would be an excellent 3rd position since he can use grapple and still strike and benefit from his own mark. Another possible way is to buff up someone with a strong stun chance of 160 to 170%. This would leave it just above 50%, and a stun could swing this fight into your favor. This means no back row movement and no new skeletons, and this could really create a snowball effect for you because you'd get a whole turn to damage into him and not worry about new skeletons. I prefer to take in the Leper, Crusader, and Houndmaster or Highwayman, and a Vestal. The Vestal was full times heal, while the Leper past the first turn was full ad control if he could not hit the Necromancer. The Crusader and Highwayman can play off one another by having the Highwayman riposte, and then that would move him forward, thus kicking back the Crusader to the 3rd row. This would leave the Crusader the ability to always use Holy Lance, making it a strong critical chance and to hit him from any row of 2nd to the 4th. You can also start the Crusader in the 4th slot, ensuring him 2 chances if you decide to go with the Houndmaster instead. The Crusader obviously gets bonus damage against Unholy, but any other Unholy trinket damage or trait is massive for this fight. The Necromancer is a lot of touch and feel depending on your party composition, and the summons that will occur. I had never had trouble with the Necromancer due to the low resistances of the Necromancer and the damage the Crusaders can deploy against unholy creatures. Thank you, like and subscribe below.